to bring in front of me a vada pav, and I should not be saying this, I know a lot of people love vada pav, but it's maida and it's aloo and it's fried. And usme butter. Matlab, there is no goodness to it.
This is becoming a very educational Sunday brunch for me.
Suddenly become like, people be like, why is she giving us this gyan on Sunday? We want to do a Sunday cheat.
She's not only won our hearts on the big screen, but also as an ex-Miss India, an investor and an entrepreneur. So on this Sunday brunch special, we're going to enjoy a clean, green, vegetarian, healthy meal with Rakul Preet Singh. But before every celebrity interview, there's one thing that's crucial for me, and that is my perfect looking curly hair, for which I have the best curly hair care products that are powered by nature, absolutely vegan, sulfate and paraben free, and comes with the goodness of rice water. My favorites from Love, Beauty and Planet. Hello Rakul.
Hi.
Welcome back to Curly Tales on popular demand.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And a very happy Republic Day.
To you too.
You know, coming from a defense family, I know Republic Day, Independence Day, ये बहुत ही special occasions होते हैं.
Well, you know, when we were growing up in the cantonments, there used to be a celebration for Republic Day, Independence Day, like you spoke, and then watching the parade.
Yeah.
You know, that's something that my dad used to make us watch every year, you know, ever since we were kids, and we would diligently watch. Us time Doordarshan pe aati thi sabse pehle, I remember as a kid. So I just feel like, you know, when you grow up in that environment, you yourself are so patriotic by nature, that there's this sense of belonging to the country.
Yeah.
There's this sense of selflessness for the nation. You know, it's like deep rooted in your DNA.
How well trained are you in March Past? आपने स्कूल
in school, yeah. अब तो नहीं, अभी तो मतलब from March Past I had to learn to start walking like a catwalk, you know. So there's been a journey from March Past to catwalk, but yes, in school we used to do that.
But also, you know, every time I see any Jawan doing that salute, you know, it just feels like
it gives you goosebumps.
Absolutely.
And to be serving the nation, to be on borders protecting each one of us, and a lot of people who are not associated with the forces don't even know what really goes into it.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult job.
Yeah. And also growing up in a defense environment, you're not sort of exposed to civilians. और उनकी life बहुत अलग होती है.
Civilians is the word, because we used to say civilians को कुछ नहीं आता. You know, as kids, when you're like, you know, 10, 12, so we used to look down upon civilians because Faujis are so like particular about time and discipline and etiquette and way of conduct, that we used to always feel that civilians are just so like lazy and lost, and you know, like could not even fathom being friends with them. Like I'm talking when we were really kids, kids. You know, I feel like for me, I feel सबसे ज़्यादा different होता है एक discipline. And I feel discipline is not something that is to be followed when you are at work. It's a way of life.
Yeah.
How do you bring that discipline in your daily life? Like you asked me before we started this interview, you must have woken up today, and I was like, "आज ऐसा क्या दिन है जो नहीं उठना था?" But that's something that you grow up with, like etiquette again. Of, you know, small things, like when you're sitting with elders, not being on the phone, or when we were kids at that time, if we didn't use our spoon or fork correctly, then we were scolded that, you know, this is not how you use, I mean, you know how to use your cutlery, right? So small things, just greeting everyone, just being warm to people. Health and fitness is not something that everyone follows, but in the defense forces, largely you'll see 90% of the people, because the fathers have been used to it, it comes into the family. Like I get it from my dad. You know, he's visiting me for a day, and this morning when I was going to the gym, he also came with me. It's a very normal thing for us, right? I mean, if he doesn't work out for me, it's like, is he not well? That he's not woken up and gone for his training. So, you know, I think these small things which actually make up for a huge part of who you are very different.
And बात करो discipline की, I'm meeting Rakul for the 3rd time. And let me tell you, she is so punctual. आप तो रोज जल्दी उठते हो, मुझे आज extra जल्दी उठना पड़ेगा because I have to make it in time. Another very interesting thing about defense families is, you know, changing homes, changing cities.
Yes.
And I think that in itself also teaches you a lot.
So we traveled everywhere with Dad. I changed 10 schools.
Okay.
I was in my 10th standard when I was in my 10th school. That's when we got posted to Delhi. So for us, it used to be like, "Arey, tum log 10 saal se ek hi school mein ho, how boring. You don't have friends." You know, like, so that was our normal. And it's amazing. I feel like the best part is that it teaches you, you can rough it out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, today as an actor, how it comes really, it's really useful for me is that I can shoot in the interiors of the country.
Yeah.
Without any of the luxury hotels at complete ease, you know, because you know how to make a space for yourself out of nothing. And I think that's what it teaches you. Like when Dad was on the northeast border, or, you know, when he was on the Indo-Pak Rajasthan border, we've gone and stayed in bunkers for a week to see how that was. We were a little piche in Firozpur, and then, so, you know, you've experienced everything, living in tents, living in like border areas where, you know, there are gunmen outside with the guns just because you don't know it's not safe, and nothing is luxury, but you still know how to enjoy the small joys of life. There was still togetherness of family coming together every time we went to these borders, and I think that's something, because you've grown up with, you don't have excess demands. You can easily live. You know how to live.
But when Dad would go to work, and I don't know if in his career he had those, you know, sensitive moments where he had to go out for, you know, to protect the country. You know. I'm sure as a family, those moments must be very scary for your mother, for you.
Very, very scary for Mom. Largely because we were too little, you know, I mean, of course we had an idea, but not as much as we have now, right? When you were still a teenager, you know that he's gone, but you've also grown up with every Fauji and every father goes, so it's not, you don't know that much. But for my mom, now looking back, I feel like it took a toll on her health every time that Dad was away, and specifically this one period where we were posted in Aizawl, which is the capital of Mizoram. We were there for about 3.5 years, and Dad was on the Manipur border and we were in Aizawl. So every, I think, month he came for 2 days, or 2 months mein he came for 3-4 days, and whenever we had one extra chutti besides the Saturday, Sunday, Mom would take us. That was a very like stressful period for her, you know, because there were no phones at that time. So you used to just get updates from the unit that हाँ अच्छा ठीक है, and then there used to be those calls, you know, the satellite phones where there would be an intermediate guy. So we used to say that Papa को बोलो कि chocolate कब लाएंगे. So he would tell, and then Dad would say something and we could hear him. So we couldn't directly speak to him, right, because of security issues. And that was a period of 3.5 years. So yeah, I mean, but because you've seen all of that now, today, like, you don't really feel upset about small things don't working in life. Like, honestly, when I feel people are just, oh God, we can't shop, and they're upset about that, I'm like, life, you know, like there's life beyond shopping and eating in restaurants and partying, and there's life beyond that. So I feel like, yeah, you become really tough.
I think it's because हाँ जवान border पर हैं, that's why we are sitting securely at home. और उसके बारे में हम ज़्यादा सोचते नहीं हैं.
Can I say the sad part is उसके बारे में ज़्यादा बताया भी नहीं जाता.
बताया भी नहीं जाता.
बताया जाना चाहिए, you know. I think every citizen of the country, of every country, should be aware what it takes to keep a country safe.
That's true.
You know, and that should be inculcated at school level.
And that these little sacrifices that every family makes, you know, which nobody.
Largely the wives.
The wives, absolutely.
Imagine a newly married couple, and within first 1 year, then they're sent. Like Dad was in Kashmir, Basauli, Kashmir border at that point. So when Mom was carrying me, she had to come to Delhi for delivery because earlier she was there, but then there no good I mean, not enough medical support. So she came to Delhi. Now imagine, in a normal life, in a city life, people can't even imagine that in pregnancy, how can the partner not be there? So one is serving at border, the other one is pregnant in another city. So it's just, you know, it's tough. But I feel like the good part of it is to take that you grow up in such a tough environment that today for the profession that I'm in, it's apt. For the world, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the world is not an easy place.
Yeah, and here we were complaining about not going out for dinner with your boyfriend or girlfriend, and those bigger sacrifices.
And I feel it is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you can't blame them because they don't know any better.
They don't know, that's true. Okay, ours is a food show.
Yes.
And
my favorite thing.
Yes, by now I know what you like to eat. मैंने आपको बहुत सारा unhealthy खिलाया है. आज मैं आपको सब healthy खाना खिलाने वाली हूँ.
Yeah, when I heard we are doing it here, I was like, वाह, ये तो healthy वाली जगह.
This is so non-Kamya, but yeah, we are doing this at Seeds of Life.
Yeah.
We've got you some gluten-free, clean, healthy stuff.
Amazing.
So let's begin the Sunday brunch.
Let's go.
We've got you Malta orange juice, pineapple mint juice, there's citrus salad, quinoa, avocado, bale. There's a Mexican bowl, lavender hibiscus rose cooler, mint iced tea. There's also mushroom melt sandwich. There's a pasta. We've got you a risotto as well as baked sweet potato fries.
Sweet potato is my favorite, you know.
Like also
I can live on sweet potato.
Really? मतलब जो लोग fries से addicted है, please उसे छोड़कर आप sweet potato खाइए.
Sweet potato fries are so much more tastier.
Yeah.
And try the baked
let me try.
Try the baked one.
See, every time I meet you, now I get some really nice healthy tips. Last time you told me, सुबह उठते ही एक चम्मच ghee.
Yeah.
Do you still have it, or you mix it with your coffee, right?
I mix it with my coffee. I've been doing this for 6 years now.
You've always been into clean eating.
It came from home. Aloo was never considered a sabzi. मेरे घर में कभी आलू नहीं बना. I'm not kidding. कभी नहीं बना. We'd gone for dinner somewhere and I have this memory that उन्होंने दाल बनाया, chicken बनाया, and dum aloo बनाया, and there was no green vegetable. And my dad has gone and said, "ये sabzi नहीं है. मतलब you've made aloo is not a sabzi." So that's how it was, you know. And and I'm so thankful because those are the habits that your parents inculcate in you. A kid doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
You don't know whether I have a taste for this or I don't have. So I know that as when we were 3-4 year old, karela, dudi, tori, these were the things that were first fed to us so that our taste buds developed for that.
Yeah. What is the premise? What do you think if anybody wants to get into healthy eating?
The premise largely is first don't call it a diet.
Right.
But think about everything you ate when you grew up, right? Everything your grandmother ate. You eat dal, roti, sabzi, meat, fruits, vegetables. Eat fiber, so a lot of vegetables, and balance is the key.
Yeah.
And I feel that little investment on yourself can save you a lot of money as you age.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, because you'll age better. Otherwise, you'll just be from hospital to, you know, like today, so many people are diabetic.
Yeah.
So many people have cancer. And you know, there are enough studies that say that your food causes cancer. And diabetes can also be corrected with food. There's nothing that food cannot correct.
What are the things that you do for a sustainable living?
The reason I do it because I like to be healthy. I want to be healthy, right? Bringing in that 1 hour of workout, at least 5 to 6 times a week. I would train that 7th day also, but my trainer said, no, you need rest. So I'm like, okay, can I walk? Can I do yoga? So I don't consider yoga and walk as a workout only. I'm like, walk kar lu fir. So that's something I do. And then I just follow this thing that I do not eat maida.
Okay.
I don't eat gluten actually, no form of gluten, no atta. I eat jawar, ragi, bajra, rice, and then I don't eat fried. So nothing deep fried, and I do not miss it, and I don't want it, I don't like it only. You bring in front of me a vada pav, and I should not be saying this, I know a lot of people love vada pav, but it's maida, and it's aloo, and it's fried. And उसमें butter. मतलब there is no goodness to it. At least chaat and all you still feel कि चलो दही है, चलो उसमें boiled potatoes है, sprout है, कुछ तो है. You know, there's some nutrition to it.
What about your loved ones, people around you? And if they are eating unhealthy food, do you get bothered?
You find your tribe, right?
Yeah.
You attract the people that you sort of resonate with. My family doesn't eat like that, so any which ways, it's, you know, that it's the same.
Yeah.
Even Jackie, for that matter, is extremely healthy, and I think that's where we resonated.
Yeah. So your food choices are similar between you and Jackie.
I used to think I was the only psycho till I met another one who's exactly the same.
Which is a great match. But then, what about Sindhi Kadhi? Have you had Sindhi Kadhi yet?
I've had it before also, and I've had it. See, that's again healthy.
Yeah.
Kadhi is not a problem. It's vegetables and it's dal.
Yeah.
Right. Anything that's native to any region, makki ki roti, sarson ka saag, it's actually gluten free. It's actually good.
Yeah.
Fat is not bad. It's the reused oils that are bad, that are cancerous. It's fried food because it's, and then sugar. Sugar is something I don't eat. I don't remember the last time I had white sugar in like desserts.
Then
I do desserts. No, not brown. Brown is the biggest fad. Brown is the biggest scam. Brown rice, brown sugar is the biggest scam. People will kill me for saying this. It's the biggest scam on the planet because it's nothing but another layer. Like brown sugar को और थोड़ा सा process करके white sugar बनता है. Brown rice का एक layer हटा के
so it's actually more potent than white sugar.
Same calories. So if you really want to eat sugar, which what I do is jaggery.
Becoming a very educational Sunday brunch for me.
Suddenly become like, people be like, why is she giving us this gyan on Sunday? We want to do a Sunday cheat.
Okay, let's play a fun game. Okay, I'm going to ask you some quick questions. You're going to tell me, okay? We're going to talk about love, beauty and planet. So 3 words that come to your mind when I say love.
Selfless, abundant and free-flowing.
3 things you love doing in your free time.
I love playing golf. I love watching content. And I love eating.
Okay. Talking of eating, 3 food dishes you truly love.
Nicely made dal khichdi.
Okay.
I love all vegetables actually. And that chana dal.
A beauty hack you followed as a teenager but will never try again.
I followed 0 beauty hacks. I was an absolute tomboy when I was in my growing up years, especially when I was a teenager and I was playing golf and I was, I think, extremely tanned and black and white. So there was discoloration of arm and neck onwards. I was a different person. So 0 beauty hacks. I didn't care.
So when did the transformation happen?
You know, you have that little 5% thought in your head, but then you don't really acknowledge it. And my mom spotted it and then she said, you know, you're tall and smart and why don't you try for Miss India? And I used to really watch Miss India like every year, follow all the contestants, watch the international pageants. So that's how it began. So that was my thought.
Most girls, when they have their first crush, is when they...
मुझे बिल्कुल कोई hack नहीं था. The only hack that I did was haldi besan, which I still do.
Oh, okay.
Haldi besan and curd.
Do this every day, daily applications, and
I wished. I think of it every day. But again, there's still a streak of me that's not very like girly. Like I want to spend so much time on it. So I do it once or twice a week.
A beauty hack you recently discovered?
Ice water dips of the face.
Okay, does that help? Because I've been seeing that trend.
Very good.
Yeah?
Very good. And especially when you're shooting early. So November, December, I was shooting very early. We were shooting in ahead of Gorai and then mud for almost 30 days. So I had to wake up at 4 AM. So you can be a little puffy at that point, right? So
just dip your face
in ice cold with a lot of ice cubes. And it's just a great booster for your mind as well. It wakes you up and also for your blood circulation and puffiness.
And the puffiness below the eyes goes away. I'm going to try that. You never leave your home without this beauty must-have.
Lip balm.
Toughest for you to give up? Fast fashion, single-use plastic or overseas travel?
We travel. Everything else I can give up.
Pick one, upcycling or thrifting?
Upcycling.
How do you showcase your love for the planet?
There are sustainability measures that I've started taking. I mean, of course, with launching a brand of my own, which is reusable diapers. We launched last year and that saves a lot of, plastic that goes into the planet. So, and each diaper takes about 500 years to decompose. So imagine the first diaper created on the planet is still lying somewhere.
Right.
And of course, no use of single-use plastic. Of course, not littering the road. So these little conscious steps, no firecrackers.
Yeah. And what are the steps you think our audiences can take that can help the planet? You know, carrying your own water bottle.
I feel the biggest thing is changing the mindset because each one of us think is ek bottle se kya hoga. But think we're so many people. It's not about this ek bottle. It's about your future generations. And if we're so selfish and we don't care, then why do we want to have a future generation? I mean, we should leave back a planet that's worth living on.
Okay. So how is Rakul as an entrepreneur?
I am an entrepreneur for things that excite me, something that I'm passionate about. Otherwise, I can't.
Yeah.
You know, because my first love is, of course, films.
Yeah.
And anything else that I do beyond feedback when you're building a brand.
Yeah. So how quick are you with taking decisions?
I'm pretty quick in life. Sometimes I feel like, why are people so slow? What takes so long to respond?
Yeah.
Like, I'm very prompt on even messages.
Do you spend a lot of time on your phone?
No.
And how? No.
It's just responding messages, that's it. I'm not a phone person.
I see that you've also diversified and going beyond acting with your venture now. But is that something that you want to do and diversify your own portfolio outside of acting as well?
I've always thought of that. I mean, the first time I did something was my chain of gyms back in 2015.
Yeah.
You know, and I was 25 at that point. So 24, 25. So I feel like I've always been that person who's more than just my films. Because why should a person just be one thing?
Yeah.
You know, and again, something that I'm passionate about, because I can also give you ideas only if I know about it. Endorsement is a separate thing. Starting your own brand is very different.
If there is one financial advice you would like to give to all the women out there, what would that be?
At least I'm the kind of person who feels that there needs to be certain smart investments. 50% will go into my saving, or 30% will go into straight saving, which you could put into an investment. 30% is what I spend on myself, 10% is what I donate. But I feel it's very important for especially the youth today, because I see so many people living like absolute nomads. You know, they spend whatever they make. And I just feel life is so uncertain. Like, for example, the most unfortunate incident of COVID happened. There are a lot of people who barely make ends meet. So not for them, but whoever can, largely, even if it's saving $1,000, you know, by the end of the year, you're saving 12 grand.
Yeah.
Something.
Do you have any principles around that? That I would spend 50% of
I need to be told, please spend.
Really?
Yeah, I need to be told, please spend. No, I'm generally not a person who requires too much in life. In general, I mean, I'm not very big on brands. Of course, shoes and bags I am, but not when it comes to clothes. So I'm okay with anything and everything, as long as it looks good.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I mean, but I save.
Why is it like that? For shoes and bags, you're particular, but not as much.
Not particular also. I wear normal also, but I like for shoes and bags. I mean, especially bags.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'll buy everything in the collection. That also I have in my head. I am that person who'll say, okay, you know, I've bought 2 for this season, I'm done.
Yeah.
Now 6 months later, I will buy something. And I am like that. And I think that again comes from being a middle class family.
Yeah. Do you change your buying decisions basis the price tag?
Yes.
You do?
I'll lie if I say no. I do. The first thing I see is the price tag.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have to, it's hard-earned money. I mean, why would I buy? I mean, I don't understand wearing outfits worth 5 lakhs.
What about travel? Do you splurge when you're traveling?
So traveling is something, not splurge, I'm smart about it, but traveling is something I like to do, and whatever it, like, you know, when I especially, like, you know, there are certain places when you go, they are expensive trips because the connectivity is expensive and the places are, like I did Finland, which was an expensive trip. For travel, I don't mind spending because I think it's an experience.
Yeah.
You cannot quantify that experience, right?
That Finland reminds me, didn't you, like, you actually dipped in the ice water, you went like, what was that all about? Share that experience.
So in Finland, it's a very common practice that the locals do it almost every day. Every backyard of their house has this ice water dip, which is like a water in between snow. So it's literally that snow water. And they dip into it, and that raises your immunity, and they don't fall sick, and it's amazing. It's obviously, like, today cryo and ice baths have taken a lot of importance and people know about it, but it's great for any form of inflammation in the body and just rejuvenating. So it was very difficult, like I'm telling you, it was very difficult. But it
takes guts to do that.
No, it was also my 3rd attempt, to be honest. I went in first, I went in till my ankle, I said nahi hoga, nahi hoga, nahi hoga. I ran. So literally it was easier because this was in the resort, so they had a sauna, and you would be in sauna for 6 minutes once your body is warm, because the temperature was almost minus 20 outside, right? So when you're warm, that's when you step out in your bikini or your swimwear, so you don't feel the temperature dip, and then you dip into ice water. So it's literally like going from neutral to that ice water because you've come from a sauna, you're extra warm. But I ran into the sauna, and then second time when all my friends did it, and then I was like, okay, I have to do it. Then I went till the knee. I said, nahi hoga, I'm again run away. And then everyone did it and they made videos. So I was like, I have to make a video and I have to do it.
Absolutely.
And that's when I,
Okay, so I'm going to Finland, by the way, just like in a couple of weeks. Share some tips if I have to go, which are the places and what should I eat?
You should have the Aurora app for sure. Okay. Which is what makes you track the aurora lights.
Okay.
So we've driven at 11 PM at night, 2 ghanta Russia border chasing, dikhegi, then come back, nahi mili. Phir Swedish border gaye agle din, there we found. And the 5th day was outside our hotel. So we were like, what? So you know, it's just luck. So we spotted them 2-3 times.
Food, what you recommend?
Please carry something. Please, I would say, and that was a tip that was given to me who had just gone 6 months back. They said, please carry some methi parathas or some masala paratha and achar because it's so cold and we are used to eating comfort food, right? And wahan pe jo aapko khana milega, there'll be some meat and mashed potatoes and saute vegetables, and you know, it's not our flavor and it's a little bland. So after the first 2-3 days you feel like you need your masala. So I had carried 40 methi theplas and cookies, like another friend had carried and I had carried, and we all carried these.
Cookie is a very Sindhi thing to carry.
Because
Did
I love
Jackie get you that?
No, I mean, I got introduced to it like that, so I got them made and I carried cookies, and then I carried methi parathas, which are Punjabi, and some 40 of them, and everyone has eaten that. We used to eat their food and then come back to our room and eat achar. So I carried these pickle bottles and all 3 pickle bottles were over by the end of day 5. We'd gone on a trek in that -22 that day. So that guy was carrying food and he said, don't worry, I have food. And he had pea soup, matar ka soup. That was his soup after his food after like 2.5 ghanta of walking. And luckily that's when the parathas came out. So we had that stove and you know, we've heated, and I'd put out a video where I was like literally warming it up.
That's one thing that all Indians need when they are traveling. We must always
absolutely
theplas and parathas always.
Must.
Rakul, looking at your lifestyle and being inspired by it, we've curated a special hamper for you. It's got some lovely hair care products from Love, Beauty and Planet. Products that are vegan and packaged in 100% recycled plastic bottles, along with some other planet-friendly goodies. You've always been a wonderful guest on Sunday Brunch. Always educating us more about food.
Too much education. People will say, "Mat bulao yaar, ye bahut lecture deti hai खाने के बारे में."
इससे हमें सीखने मिलता है. This is a nice hamper for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rakul. It was wonderful enjoying this delectable Sunday brunch with you.